A crucial part of React Native are these components which are built into React Native. Because as you learned in the first section of this course, these are special components for which React Native knows how to translate, how to compile them to native platform widgets. And you can only use such components in React Native apps. You can build your own components, but these then also in the end have to be made up of these built-in components. You can't use divs or paragraphs or anything like that. So we have to work with the ones built into React Native because there React Native knows how to translate them. And there we have things like the view, text, button, touchable text input image. These are some of the components you will see throughout this course. There are more, and we'll see plenty of them throughout the course. And you will learn how to work with those, how to configure them, and how to compose nice user interfaces with the help of these components. Now you, as I just mentioned, of course, build your user interfaces, your custom components with the help of these built-in components here. So you compose your user interface, your components from these built-in components there. And it looks something like this. You build your own myTitle component by taking the built-in ones and mixing and matching them together to get the look or the component you need. Styling also is an important part in React Native apps, and there it's important to understand that React Native doesn't use web technologies, it doesn't use HTML, it uses JavaScript arguably, but doesn't use HTML, and it also doesn't use CSS. So CSS, which you use for styling in the web, is not supported in React Native. But it gives you styling commands, styling configuration you can add to your components, so to these components that are built into React Native, either with the help of inline styles or with so-called style sheet objects. And there you write these style instructions in JavaScript, but you use a syntax which is based on CSS. So it's not directly related to CSS, but of course it's influenced by CSS. Many of the instructions you use here are inspired by CSS, and many of the rules or of the properties you know from CSS also work here in JavaScript in your React Native app. Now, regarding the inline styles versus style sheet objects thing, I will show both, but I will already say that using style sheet objects is preferred, but I'll come back to that once we do use it. And with that, now that we know roughly what's up with components and styling, why don't we just get started and start working with these things.